Hello everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of BeJoy in the Kitchen. I'm BeJoy. Here's my kitchen, and I hope to spend some time today with you going over creating a recipe. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory on this. I started to have people about 6 years ago. People used to come to my house about once a month to cook in community, and they'd walk in the door and they'd get a recipe and a knife and a partner to cook with, and we would make these incredible plant-based gluten-free meals. Then we'd go into the dining room, sit around and chat about nutrition. And then came COVID, and I lost my community. I didn't lose them, but they couldn't come to my house anymore. So I started to have a Facebook Live once a week on Sundays at 4, and we would do the same thing, but without anyone. I called it Cooking in Place Alone. So anyway, I've been doing that probably since March. And I don't know, a few weeks ago, some of my cooking community and some other pals said to me, why don't you go on YouTube? And I said, you know what? I don't know anything about YouTube. And they said, well, you just do a video just like you do on Facebook Live, except you can talk to more people. And honestly, my passion is to help people eat a healthy lifestyle. So anyway, here came YouTube, and then we came up with BeJoy in the Kitchen because one of my nicknames has been BeJoy over the years. And I also want you to be joyful in your own kitchen. So what we'll do here is each episode go over a different recipe, making them pretty simple, pretty quick. I don't know, I might expand over time because of time-lapse photography possibilities and being able to really cook something. But today, let's start out simple with a watermelon gazpacho. I also try each week to use everything that I get in season at the farmer's market. I happen to live in the Bay Area of San Francisco and have an amazing access to fresh, organic, beautiful produce each week. And even through the quarantine, the farmers markets have been, they're essential. You just go all masked and gloved up and wait in line 6 feet apart from people who are very respectful. And I'm able to still go to my farmer's market every Sunday morning and then say, hey, what do I want to do on Sunday afternoon? Or what do I need for the recipe I've chosen? All right, so hoping to be with you every week on YouTube at BeJoy in the Kitchen. So let's get started. Today we're doing a watermelon gazpacho because watermelon is definitely in season right now. So we're going to start out with 4 cups of watermelon that I cubed up. I'm going to show you a little bit of cubes there. And I'm going to put them in my Power Horse Vitamix. I adore my Vitamix. It took me about 20 years to buy one, but here's mine, and I've had it for about, almost 10 years now, and if I could sleep with it, I would. I just love it. So we're going to take that, and then we're going to also put in, it said a small jalapeno. Well, they didn't have any small jalapenos here at the market this week. So I got kind of a large one and cut it in half. But I want to show you, I didn't seed the whole thing yet. You want to seed it. You got to really put on the surgical gloves when you want to seed this, unless you want to burn your hands. Some people have tougher hands than I do. So I just took it and I've cut it in half here, as you can see. And with my gloves on, I'm going to take a slice down the center. Well, I'm going to try and take a slice down the center. There we go. And I'm going to take the seeds out of it because I don't want those pesky seeds. Now, some of you might like really spicy stuff, but I am not a really spicy person. And what you can do actually is if you have spicy people that you're wanting to feed, you can go ahead and add extra jalapeno, not in, at the end. Well, you'll see how that will happen. And so here goes my jalapeno into the Vitamix. Let's say a little bit about watermelon first, by the way. Watermelon is a great fruit for hydration and really good for your heart because it's got vitamin A and vitamin C. Also really low in calories. And the jalapeno has that spicy stuff that burns your skin, capsaicin. And capsaicin is a really good anti-inflammatory. So you want to be sure and wash your gloves before you hand them off to the dishwasher in your house, so they don't burn themselves. And if you're using some of the PPE gloves that you have at home, you want to also be sure and wash those so that you don't, hand your dollar bill to the cashier and the next thing she knows, she's scratching her eye and woo! Anyway, so be careful with that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this powerhouse going, you know you need you need a license to drive this. I got mine early on. And here we go. Let's get that. Here we are. And watermelon really, it blends out quite simply. And what we're going to do now is put it in a bowl that's going to be large enough to hold everything. So I took out my big bowl. You might not need one quite this big. I can see now it's a little bit overkill, but you know, better to have a bigger bowl and not be splashing everything all over the place. Okay, to that we're going to add a whole tomato, which I've chopped up into tiny pieces. So this is the base for the gazpacho, is the watermelon, the jalapeno. Then you're going to put in all of your all your finely cut diced vegetables so that it becomes nice and chunky. So you want to have them about like that. And that's a whole tomato. We scored that tomato. We were on a walk with our dog, I think it was Saturday, and we spotted some neighbors. Actually, they spotted us, and they were on their way somewhere, and they had a whole basket of tomatoes that they had just pulled out of their garden, and they said, would you like some tomatoes? And who can say no to a tomato freshly grown in the garden down the street from your house? So that's where that tomato came in. Thank you, Julie and Carlos. Then we're going to put in some finely diced watermelon, 1 cup of that. And the recipe is going to be available. I think I can post it on my YouTube. I'm going to be learning that. So that's a cup of watermelon diced that same small dice. Then we're going to put in some yellow pepper, about a half of a yellow pepper. Again, that kind, this is actually an orange pepper. What am I talking about? I went to art school. You think I know the difference. So we're going to put that in there. This is coming out really good. So the pepper, pepper's got some really good fiber and really good vitamin A. And then we're going to put in one of my favorite stories, is the cucumber. We're going to put in a whole diced cucumber. And it asks you to seed it, which I just have my thing right here. I do. You're going to seed your cucumber. You're going to cut it in half. Can you see the seeds are still in it? And I'm going to take my little melon. I have a little melon baller, but if you don't have one of those, if you take a little teaspoon, that will work easily as well. And see how the seeds come right out of it. You've already got a lot of watery things in there, and the cucumber is super watery. Cucumber, in fact, is about, I think, about 95% water. So you could actually eat a cucumber and skip 1 or 2 glasses of water a day. Don't tell your doc I said that. And then we're going to cut that up in a really, in the very small dice, which is pretty easy. And when you dice, I want you to be really careful. Keep your paw in. You never want to have your paws out. Because believe me, I've had my paws out in the wrong place sometimes, and I've been at Kaiser in the ER on occasion, not anything lately. So we're going to put all those nice colors in here. We've got yellow, we've got red, now we're getting some green in here. And that's from a whole cucumber. I just want to show you how to seed it. Or you can buy those long English cucumbers that don't have seeds, but my preference is to stay local. So the cucumber also really just great for your hydration. Next thing we're going to put in is a handful, and depending on the size of your hand, we're going to put in a handful of cilantro. Excellent antioxidant, the cilantro is. And these are like, these are just things, little pieces I've picked up. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. They're just those common knowledge things about this. So this is not going to cure anything, but it certainly will give you a lot of good nutrition. Then we've got 1 small green onion right here. I don't know how well you can see that. I might have to work on my lighting method. And we're going to put that in there. That's all minced up. This is looking so good. And then ginger. Oh, ginger. Oof. This is great for everything. Ginger cures it all. And minced 1 teaspoon of ginger. Put that in there for a little spicy. And then we're going to go ahead and put in between 2 and 4 tablespoons of lime juice. I'm kind of a lime juice gal, so I went closer to 4. And put that in there. And this is one of my favorite tools to use. It's a silicone liquid measuring cup. There are differences between liquid and dry, and this is a liquid measuring cup here, right? Let me double check on my recipe right here. And lime juice, again, that's got really a lot of good vitamin C. So we've got a lot of great vitamins, minerals, all that in here. Fruits, being watermelon and tomato, the rest of them are actual vegetables. And you just want to take it with your ladle. Wow, stir it around, and it is, oh, this is like super summer refreshing, let me tell you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you see how all those chunks are in there? Ooh, I almost spilled it on the floor. Let me do this. Let me take it out so of how you will probably serve it, which will be just like that. A couple of scoops in a small demi-tasse for next time you have people over when you're out of quarantine, or for your family. And there we have it. You're going to put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes because you want it to get really cold. Myself, I'm going to be putting it in till dinner time. Matter of fact, we're going to have some gazpacho tonight, watermelon gazpacho, and it looks like I might have enough to share with a couple of other people in the neighborhood, with mask and gloves, of course. So anyway, thank you for joining me for watermelon gazpacho for my inaugural kickoff here on BeJoy in the kitchen. Be joyful in your kitchen this coming week, and would love to hear back from you on anything you'd like to see me share with you. All right, thank you everybody. Have a safe, and in the Bay Area, stay inside because it's not too good to breathe outside right now, but everybody stay healthy. Thank you.